In the last video, I talked about how I moved through the early game, largely off camera. Now it's time to do some account progression. Briefly, in the background, you could have seen me doing some high alching. Well, with that money, I bought some materials at the stonemason to upgrade my POH. I built the lectern and gilded altar. One of the biggest benefits of Winter Toad was AD construction, so I didn't even have to actively train to have these things. I did some mid-level quests like Grim Tales, Warnings in Part 1 and Part 2. Finished up the Knight's training waves for the Piety Prayer. Got some clue scrolls. I got what you would expect. I also got reminded you can't open clue caskets in your house, and some unique rewards, like flared trousers, which are kinda rare and used for other clues. My first god Dragonhide Coif. I ended up getting the blue dye from Guardians of the Rift, around 345 pulls, which I traded in for the red dye and putting it on a hat from the remnants of the eye set. Red helm, red hat. I did some diaries, the medium Crom gem, Easy Wilderness. I did some Crazy Archaeologist, not for the rune crossbow, although I did get that on 25 kill count. Went for the Muddy Key that I got at 32 kill count, which you do need for the medium diary. I risked my account unnecessarily. I ran out of runes and just stay there. I couldn't even cast any spells and I just bashed the dude for a while. It was pretty dumb, but I laughed thinking about it. But it really could have just ended here, and it was late, and I was tired. It was more stupid than going for 50 million firemaking experience. I then decided I'm in the wilderness, might as well go for the Major Arena Cape 1 and then 2, which are the best in slot magic capes for the 2% damage increase on the second cape. Although this won't change my max hit, if it ever does, unless I get several other increasing items on top of it. I should have brought blighted supplies from LMS. Completely slipped my mind. Won't make that mistake again, now that it hurt all that much. Anyways, I log out because I saw a random person walking by, but when I log back in, I opened my sidebar, and the way I was recording at the time caused everything to go black. I know, I'm great at this. The important part of this is, you have to run around deep in the wilderness, all in multi-combat areas, and find 3 demons. One for Guthix, Saradomin, and Zamorak. And you have to use the respective god spells to kill them, which can only be used after completing Major Arena 1. And then you have to sit in the pit and cast all 3 spells 100 times each, be used outside the arena. There's an int for Guthix. You have to use the Claws of Guthix spell to kill it, but they spawn these little balls that heal, and you must kill these things because they will out-heal your damage. Saradomin's is a knight that throws a spell at you and drags you directly next to it and just slaps you with a sword. The Zamorakian demon throws a ball at you, and the closer you are to it, the more damage you take. But they aren't just chilling in one spot. You have to run around with this hot and cold compass that burns you every time you check it to find them in their random spawn point, which is marked as this little blue zone on the map on screen, and they rotate like every 30 minutes or so. On top of having to look out for PKers and random NPCs in the wilderness, they all can freeze you in place and cast a teleport block on you. I did make it out alive though. Normally, I would go back out and do it some more so I can have all 3 capes. That wasn't worth the extra risk to me. If I do lose this cape, it either means I'm big dumb, or it means I died, and then it's not really a problem when you think about it. Because I had to choose one though, I went with Zamorak. It's red. What can I say? Plus, I genuinely like it anyways. Afterwards, I kept up with my continuous grind things like a Spori as much as possible. A Spori is a farming combat boss, which you have to plant and grow, so each kill takes roughly a day. But after 44 kills, I got the bottomless bucket and not one white lily seed. This bucket not only holds all my compost in one spot, but also doubles the amount of compost I put in it. I did some skilling. I got 75 crafting so I can make things like the Slayer teleport ring, and it's one step closer to making the Amulets of Glory. I got 70 Hunter on Burnhouses, the level needed for the Song of the Elves quest. Got 69 Herb Lore, which is barely off, so I went scrounging for 70 Herb Lore, which is also needed for the Song of the Elves quest. And then I went to the Giant's Foundry and got the last requirement I needed for the Song of the Elves, 70 smithing. I stayed a little longer, which would allow me to get things like adamant bolts to make blood and diamond bolts. I also alched some in my downtime to build up my cash stack, or just AFK by training my combats. Later, they would have released a mini quest, His Faithful Servants. It is super easy, and I just have to kill some low level bosses that I need to do for various reasons anyways, and it gives me a free 20,000 prayer experience. Soon after, the first portion of Forestry would release, and I wanted to go check that out. Plus, I was super close to 80 woodcutting, which is mainly a milestone of numbers more than anything. But I am well past the level for a Rune Axe and want to go for a small boost by getting the Dragon Axe. And as I have said before, I will be going to the Dagannoth Kings. The Dagannoth Kings are low level bosses, but plenty of hardcores have lost their status here for a slight mess up. These 3 bosses all attack with different attack styles and can max a 50, a 30, and a 26. Luckily though, I can mitigate most of this risk after I get set up and can attack just one of the bosses from a safe spot. Because of this, the Melee King is by far the easiest one to kill. So I'll enter from this ladder on the west side, go south, and hug this wall, and then make my way around all the way to the east side. I will stop here on the southeast portion, and then move myself north after I get the traction of Dagannoth Rex. And here I can catch him on a corner, and I'll be safe. As long as I stay towards this east side, the Major cannot hit me, and I can have my main just attack the Ranger, and it will not be able to bother me. It has access to the Dragon Axe and the most useful gear unit here, the Berserker Ring, which will increase my max melee hit. But unlike the other 2 bosses, this one has a second ring, the Warrior's Ring, that increases melee accuracy and is very unimportant currently. Luckily for me, I got it on the first KC, and on the 53rd KC, and again on 110 KC. You can see I'm being attacked from the water. This cannot be protected against with prayer, and it has a chance to poison me, and it can hit up to 10s on me. Well, I got a little too wild and got teleported out by my Ring of Life because I got attacked down to 2 HP. I definitely could have got hit harder, so there goes another chance missed at visiting Death's office. I switch it up to life stealing spells mainly because of this, and it's even safer now. I did get a bunch of drops that were the same drop rate as the Berserker Ring, but not the ring. I did get the axe, which completes my Winter Toad collection log and is good enough for now, but we will come back later. As we leave these watery depths, in the next episode, we will be doing a lot of searching in some new waters.